Scott, tell me why you're here today, what your goal is.
Well, our goal is to talk to legislators and allow grassroots activists from across the state to come to the Capitol and talk in person to legislators, legislative staff about the importance of workplace freedom, freedom to work, call it what you will. Basically, what it is giving employees the option on whether they want to pay their dues to a private organization. You know, that their money, they work very hard for their money, and they should have the right to keep a job and not have to have their dues extracted without choice to a private organization. And that's really all this is about. It preserves collective bargaining. It preserves unions. It doesn't do away with unions. In fact, it will strengthen unions. You know, when AT&T had a monopoly, they went through fits when they tried to break them up, and they broke them up. But today we all have better customer service because we have choice. And this is the same with unions. All of their customers, the union workers, are captive. They have no choice. And when you have a captive audience, you don't provide very good services. So if you have to earn the right to represent those people, you'll often work much harder. So in the long run, we believe this will make unions stronger. It will give workers a better representation. It'll make our state better. And really, bottom line, this is about freedom.
Will it hurt unions' political strength, though?
You know, political strength, it might hurt the union boss's political strength, but in the long run, this will strengthen unions, and it will strengthen workers' representation, which in the long run will make this a better state. As far as weakening unions' political strength, you know, I'm disappointed to even hear people talking in those terms, because unions are there to represent workers in the best interest of workers. If they're just in it, if union bosses are just in it so that they have power up here at the state capitol, that's really the wrong reason. You know, I come from an all-union household, union family, Southeast Michigan, and my parents had to leave the state over 20 years ago. We've lost a lot of union jobs over the past 20 years. We've been through some very hard times here in Michigan, and we continue to be. 4 years ago, the median household income was about $53,000 in Michigan. Now it's $47,000. We were 9th in per capita income in 1965, 17th in 2000, and today we are 36. So we need to turn our economy around, and that's a benefit, but the most important reason that we need to take up workplace freedom is for the freedom of the workers, so they have the choice of what happens to their hard-earned money.
Sure. Why now? Why try and get this done during lame duck?
Well, you know, everyone calls it lame duck, but actually the senators aren't lame duck. They were elected 2 years ago. None of them were up for election a few weeks ago. And the governor wasn't lame duck. He still has 2 more years. He's not lame duck. And as far as the House, they were all up for election, but most of them are returning. I think when people use the term lame duck, they're trying to attack the legitimacy of what happens during this period. But as far as I see it politically, there's perfect legitimacy to this. And this has been a conversation that's been going on for decades. And we see Indiana just passed this earlier this year. Since Indiana passed right to work, 1 out of every 5 new jobs in America have been created in Indiana. We want that job growth here in Michigan. Our families deserve it. Our kids deserve it. And the future of Michigan, the result, you know, freedom first, the economy, growing incomes, and investment for more jobs. It makes perfect sense. You know, all too often in Michigan, we start to get a little better economically, and people say, oh, no more reform. I think this governor and I think legislative leaders are dedicated to doing the real reform and pushing through more and more reform so that we can have a real turnaround in Michigan that lasts.
Do you think it's going to happen this week?
I don't think it's going to be passed this week, and you know, we need a bill, and I understand there may be a bill that could be introduced this week, but certainly I think in my lifetime this is the best opportunity that I've ever seen where this could occur, and we just hope that it happens, and I think the citizens that are coming up today hope that it happens too, and they want to send a message to their lawmakers that this is an important issue. It's an important issue for Michigan's future, and it's an important issue for freedom.